Reminds me a lot of like Machiavelli's The Prince,
Yeah, like a female version of Machiavelli.
female version of the yeah.
Especially in the beginning of the episode when she was like sitting at that table with like her
Yeah,
pen, like her ink pen, and like
yeah.
drawing out plans for like conquest. Hey guys, welcome to This Week in Anime. I'm Preetam,
I'm Alan,
and
and
we
we
are
are
the
the
Anime
Anime
Philosophers.
Philosophers. All right, guys. So welcome to another week. This week it's pretty special. We're gonna cover 5 different anime. So in addition to the Ancient Magus Bride, Devilman Crybaby, and Grancrest, we will be looking at 2 more anime: Violet Evergarden and Darling in the
In the
Franxx.
Franks, yeah.
Yep. So we've heard some good things about those as well, and we want to cover them this week.
Yeah, we got an action-packed episode for you this week. Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely tune in. A lot of crazy stuff going on. We're gonna give you us our first impressions of Violet Evergarden and Darling in the Franks. All sorts of good stuff. All of these episodes have been pretty good so far. So
Yeah.
tune in to learn more. All right, moving on to the first anime this podcast. Of course, one of our favorites, The Ancient Magus Bride. We're continuing this week with episode 14. The title is Looks Breed Love.
Yeah, very interesting title as always. It doesn't rhyme this time though.
Yeah, it doesn't rhyme. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, and no description this time as
No,
well.
no description. Yeah. I'm liking this no description thing because
Yeah.
you jump in it with no expectations.
Yeah. All right, let's watch it and find out.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Just finished watching episode 14 of Ancient Magus Bride. Very interesting episode, actually. So right off the bat, I'll say, as like a general overview, I was expecting, based on the ending from last week, I was expecting it to be like a crazy, like high energy type of episode,
Mm-hmm.
because they met that weird three-eyed mage and stuff.
Yep.
But it was overall a very, very mild episode, like a general, continuing with the general theme, I guess, of most of Ancient Magus Bride episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little anticlimactic.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's more of a mischievous mage, perhaps, rather than a nefarious
Yeah.
mage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some interesting things in that. When she put on that fox fur coat or whatever, and Elias later explains it turns people into like were beasts or something.
We're beasts.
Yeah. So when she turned into a fox, it was pretty interesting because she seemed really happy.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like the first time I've seen her so happy.
yeah. And she seemed to almost forget about Alias for a little bit. And,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, that was kind of like there might be some symbolism there, but it seemed like when people get transformed into those were beasts sort of thing, they maybe they get closer to their true nature, like they act more strongly towards what they really want.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like she wanted to just explore or something, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very interesting.
yeah, and then Alias got scared and went after her.
Yeah. I mean, I found it interesting when Ruth asks her, "Is this what you really want?" She said, "Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
really want."
Yeah,
So I wonder if that was an authentic response or whether she was in some kind of hypnotic state as
Yeah.
that beast. Because I don't think she remembered anything of her past
not much.
at that time. She's like she probably forgot all of the negativity from her upbringing and
Yeah,
all these tragic things that happened to her. So it's all gone. I guess when you
yeah,
erase all that stuff.
yeah. Even when she got back, she said that her brain was foggy, right? So
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like if you wipe the slate clean,
Yeah.
That's what you really wanted to do. But I mean, I
Yeah.
would. It's interesting because I would make the argument that if you wipe the slate clean, it's not really Chise anymore. You know,
That's true.
so it's not really her. You
Yeah.
are also the product of all the things that happened to you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
something she loses something of what it means to be Chise. I think if you go ahead and erase those memories. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think by becoming an animal almost, you disregard a lot of the, or like you shed away a lot of the baggage, I guess, that comes with being human.
yeah,
Like you're a lot more in the moment, a lot more present,
yeah,
and much more likely to follow your instincts and
yeah,
stuff. But yeah, but like you're saying, you kind of lose
yeah.
some of the beauty of being human too. So
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. You definitely lose something in that process.
yeah,
That pain is there. There's a reason for that pain.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, if you like when she was at Fox, I don't think she was so happy because she had never experienced pain.
Right.
Like she just didn't remember it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I mean, it's pain has meaning too. I mean, we
Yeah.
should at some point we should talk about Full Metal Alchemist, but like the whole premise of that entire series is
Mm.
literally that pain makes you stronger, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And overcoming that pain is is a fundamental journey that every human undertakes at some point. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's just like what it's like Ed says in the end, right? Like if you can bear that pain, you can obtain a full metal heart, right? That's what he says.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But
Great quote.
yeah, yeah, Hagane no kokoro. But
Yeah.
but without that pain, yeah, it's just you're missing something. You're missing the other side. It can't just
Yeah.
all be happiness, right? There's
That's true.
that other side of things too.
That's true. And
Yeah,
I think for humans to grow, you definitely need to go through a little bit of pain.
yeah,
So
yeah. You have to struggle against something.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you stronger.
Yeah. I heard actually it's like a good I've heard it from uh it's a good analogy with like working out. You only really understand your strength, and you only like build your strength if you meet with resistance.
Yeah,
So if you meet with some pain and stuff, that's the way to test your convictions. And
yeah,
um, yeah, if you don't meet with any resistance, then you don't know anything.
yeah. It's exactly true. Yeah, I mean, using the weight training analogy, like, yeah, I mean, if you want to get stronger, like, you have to break down your muscle first.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this is like a lot of people don't understand that. Like when you go into the gym, it's like when you lift weights, you're getting stronger, but that's not true. You're lifting weights and you're actually getting weaker. You're damaging your muscles
yeah,
with every training session. But it's the bounce back, the adaptation response from that stress, from
yeah,
that degradation of muscle fiber that makes you stronger.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
actually a really good analogy to
yeah,
psychological struggle as well.
yeah. It is. Yeah, yeah. Struggling actually, like when you're training, like, that's what people don't really understand. But yeah, training in general, like going up against resistance in some systematic way. Um, in that it's a stress, and when the body gets a
Yeah,
stress, it becomes weaker.
yeah,
But it's the
yeah,
adaptation from that stress that makes you stronger. So very interesting.
mm,
Yeah, it's exactly what Ed said, man. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, so that was the first part of the episode, and then the whole second part of the episode was um, the poet and the vampire, right?
yeah, yeah. That
Very,
that was interesting too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. The whole interesting love story dynamic,
right.
and
And it's some kind of mirror for Chise and Elias's relationship,
yeah,
perhaps.
yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
And that's
Um,
why that's why probably why Chise tried so hard to,
right. That makes sense why she's so attached to it.
yeah,
Yeah. Some part of her unconsciously maybe sees herself in you know
yeah,
in that kind of dynamic. with Elias. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So yeah, before we get into all of that, like when Elias showed up,
Right.
he was cruel, man.
I
He had a
I don't
complete
think
lack of tact. Yeah.
I don't think he intended to be. He just did not read the
Yeah.
situation.
Exactly. Yeah. Just goes to show you that he doesn't really.
Yeah.
And but he can't. He remember he said he lacked empathy,
Exactly. Yeah.
so he can't really understand. He can't put himself in her shoes. What's her name again? The
I forget.
fairy
It's
thing.
I think it's a mythological name.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, okay. Well, let's call
Yeah.
it like some sort of vampire-ish thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the vampire. Yeah, he just couldn't put himself in her shoes.
Yeah.
He complete lack of empathy. So he just stated the facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta tread lightly.
That's true. Yeah.
And Chise actually got like pissed off.
Yeah. It's one of the first times she actually got
Yeah.
overtly pissed off at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and going along with that, it's also one of the first times that she actually wanted to do something for herself.
Yeah.
I think it's like a huge milestone.
I think that's why Alias allowed it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it was forbidden for humans to
That's
make
right,
that
yeah.
potion, but he was like, since you're demanding it, and it's the first time you're actually demanding something strongly,
Yeah.
I will allow it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. That's like a huge milestone
yeah,
in her development. Because like
Yeah.
before she was just I like what the old man said. He said he was just operating on inertia, right? Since his wife died. And I think Chise was kind of operating on inertia too. Ever since those tragic events from her past, she was just kind of going through life. You know, that's why she sold herself off at that auction. Just wanted to
Yeah.
get away and I don't
Yeah.
know. So she was just kind of, riding the wave, so to speak. And like, it's only in this episode where she feels strongly about something and she actually wants to do something, even though it's not, even though it's forbidden or whatever. She's learning to trust her own judgment, trust her own instinct. And she actually has like a drive to do something for herself.
Right. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, actually.
Yeah, super huge. Yeah, so she's going from like a passive observer to like an active actor, an active agent in the world. That's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's worth so much. Like even at the end, when at the final dialogue between the poet and the vampire, right?
Yeah.
When she was like, all I did was take from you, and I didn't actually give you anything. And he said, what are you talking about? I used to operate on inertia before I saw you.
Yeah.
So, um, that's that feeling of like having a renewed purpose in life, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's very powerful.
So yeah, you can clearly see the mirror between these two situations.
Yeah.
They did a good job. It's good. Yeah, very very interesting. And I think I thought the last part was very touching.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you the power of like companionship, right?
Right.
Yeah, like he said, like I'm afraid of going alone, but now that I know that you're here, no problem.
Yeah.
He's like, take my life.
Yeah. Yeah, he was so peaceful about the whole process of dying, actually.
Yeah.
Even Elias was surprised. Remember, he was
Yeah.
like, You're gonna die," and he's like, "Well, there's nothing I can do about it." So,
Yeah.
even Elias, I think, struggled to understand it, like
Yeah.
his peacefulness.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think he just wanted one more thing, which is to see her again.
Yeah, yeah,
And as soon as once he had that and more, because he was able to talk to her,
yeah.
I think that's all he needed.
That's all he needed. Yeah. I think people say this kind of stuff happens in shows and movies and anime and stuff, but sometimes even in real life, like people who are sick with some terminal illness, they will like will themselves to live until they see like a loved one
Right.
one last time or something.
That's right. Yeah.
So it really is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very powerful. Yeah. To some extent, like you can. Yeah. To some extent, you have some sort of control
Yeah.
over when you go. I think to some degree. Like when you're ready to go, like and you're in that state, you just go. But if you're holding on to see someone, you can actually force it and just stay alive.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, but it does happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, great episode overall, I guess.
Yeah.
So at the end, there's still a little bit of an open question, like why did Oberon appear? And
Right, where did Oberon appear? And of course, I mean, Chise looks like she's in dire straits now.
yeah.
I mean, she's coughing up blood, and that the ring that who gave it to her? Angelica, is that her name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's snapped. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
don't
that's the
know.
side effects. That's the side effect of using forbidden magic, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I think she's just weak. Like Ellie said, she's quite frail right now, and
Yeah.
I guess she used up too much power in making that ointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, what's gonna happen to her. We'll see. We'll see how it looks like the fairies are gonna help her, at least from the preview.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope she's able to make it out. Make it out safely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. I mean, Oberon looks like he knows his stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he is the king of the fairies.
He's the king of the fairies. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. If anyone knows what to do, it's probably him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I guess we're looking forward to next episode as usual.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next anime then.
All right. So the next series is Record of Grancrest War. Last week we were talking about how we were predicting whether this is going to be just another average fantasy anime or not, and that what's her name? The Silica. Yeah, Silica could possibly be the character that makes this series more than just your average fantasy. So we'll see. Let's find out what happens in episode 2. The title is Ambition.
Yeah, and the description says, with Theo now in control of his own territory, Silica starts putting plans into motion, as well as calling on old allies. Meanwhile, in the neighboring region of Savis, an ambitious lord plots to overtake the fledgling kingdom.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so I guess she's continuing to level him up.
Yeah.
RPG style.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's find out what happens.
Let's find out what happens. All right.
All right. We just finished episode 2 of Record of Grancrest War.
Yep. So, my impression so far is that it's continuing on that RPG fantasy kind of style, because Theo keeps getting leveled up.
Yeah.
So I will say, in the first episode we were saying, like, it's too early to make a judgment. I will say, so far it doesn't seem like a super deep anime with a lot of super deep concepts or anything, but I think it's pretty entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun to watch some of the characters.
Yeah. It's definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
Some of the action was pretty good in this episode, I thought.
Yeah, the action was pretty good. What's her name? Silica's
Silica.
friend? Silica's friend?
I don't know. It started with an A, but I forgot. I don't know the exact name. Yeah.
She seemed like a very entertaining character.
Yeah.
Like very, very balls to the wall kind of personality.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was some good comedy in this episode, I thought.
Yeah.
Like no one could believe that Silica had a friend.
Yeah.
And of course the cat lord.
The cat lord. It's like you may rub my ears now.
It's like, you may pick me up, you may rub my ears. Good stuff.
Man. Yeah, the cat was ambitious too. He wanted to be like the king of the cats, right?
Yeah.
Like
a lot of parallels with Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah.
With those cats over there too. Yeah. And Tir Naog.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely entertaining. Yeah.
Definitely, a lot of comedy, very lighthearted, like compared to the other anime we've been watching.
Yeah.
And yeah, just Silica reminds me a lot of like Machiavelli's The Prince. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
yeah,
Yeah, like a female version of Machiavelli.
female version of the yeah.
Especially in the beginning of the episode when she was like sitting at that table with like her
Yeah,
pen, like her ink pen, and like
yeah.
drawing out plans for like conquest.
Yeah,
Very
she's sitting
Machiavellian
in like some kind of
kind of
like
idea.
dungeon place, right? Like her room looks like a dungeon, like like a
Yeah,
medieval
yeah.
Italian.
It's set in that
Yeah,
kind of that setting as well, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it has. Yeah, she seems exactly like that.
yeah,
Okay, so I guess one probably the most interesting thing this episode is when Theo asks Silica about her motivations, right?
yeah, yeah,
And then they go through this whole thing where she asks Theo about like why he left and how he has good ideals and things like that. But she takes it one layer deeper when she says, well, like she like psychologically analyzes him basically.
yeah.
She's like, don't you sometimes feel like you ran away from home? He's like, yeah.
Right,
And he's like, don't you feel like your quest to get stronger and to save your home is just an excuse to get away? And he's like, yeah, maybe.
right.
And she's like, well, good, because my my motivations may not be so pure either.
And she also says that like I'm the kind of person who will do anything to like achieve my goals.
Yeah, she says
So
that. Right.
that's also very Machiavellian, right? Like the end
Yeah, it
justifies
is.
the
Yeah,
means. She's like
yeah,
very much like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if she's still hiding something from him or not. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I like the character of the Lord that attacked them too. Like he
It's funny because the episode title is ambition, right? So you'd
yeah.
expect this guy is like super ambitious. He's not
Yeah.
gonna give up for anything.
Yeah. But he values his subordinates, man. Like
Yeah,
his mage was like yeah, he's not even gonna flinch that you caught me as
yeah. And
a
he started laughing. I thought he was
started-
basically gonna be like, "Go ahead and
Yeah.
kill him."
yeah, yeah. But he surrendered.
He just
so.
surrendered immediately. Yeah, he seems like
Yeah.
a good guy. Yeah.
He seems like a good guy, yeah. Like very likable character.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so at the end of the episode, Theo gets leveled up again. He has two
Rank of Baron now.
rank of Baron. He has
That's
two.
That's a cool rank, dude.
It
It's
is,
like,
yeah.
Back in the day, like like the barons.
Yeah. And yeah, so he has like two like small mini kingdoms now.
Yeah, I guess you're a baron once you have like more than one little kingdom.
Yeah. Like a
pretty cool.
principality, I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's very like
Yeah, I guess
medieval.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's very medieval Europe. Like that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Small like collection of villages fighting each other, ruled by a lord, and then fighting each other.
Right.
Yeah, what were you gonna
Pretty
say?
cool, yeah. No, yeah. I'm saying like Silica's ambitions are like pretty crazy. I mean, she basically says she wants to level him up to like the emperor, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even her friend. I remember her friend was like, why are you stuck with like a lord like him? He looks like a loser. She was like, oh, he's got some good ideals, so I'm gonna make him emperor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she asked him like she asked Silica, she's like what else other than the good ideals?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, he has good ideals. Couldn't come up with anything else.
Yeah. Anyway, fun anime.
Yeah, fun anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure how much philosophy we'll get out of this, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe it might surprise
Yeah,
us.
maybe it will. Yeah, at least with what Silica is trying to achieve,
Yeah.
with their motivations, and hopefully we get a little bit more insight into that in the next couple episodes. Either way, it's definitely fun to watch. Let's move on to the next series.
Sounds good.
All right, so the next series is something new. Darling in the Franxx, another, I think, hotly anticipated series for this season. It's just showed up on Crunchyroll right now, so we're starting with episode 1 this week.
Yeah, yeah, and based on what I read about it before, sounds like it could be a little similar to Evangelion, which we both watched in the past, but
Yeah, some kind of mecha stuff.
some kind of mecha stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see if it's a similar plot or anything.
Okay. All right. Let's. I'm gonna read the overall summary here, for the show, and that. Okay, here we go. The distant future. Humanity established the mobile fort city plantation upon the ruined wasteland. Within the city were pilot quarters, Mistiltine, otherwise known as the birdcage. That is where the children live. Their only mission in life was the fight. Their enemies are the mysterious giant organisms known as Kyoryu. The children operate robots known as Franxx in order to face these still unseen enemies. Among them was a boy who was once called a child prodigy. Code number 016, Hero. One day, a mysterious girl called 02 appears in front of Hero. I found you, my darling. All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So episode 1, the title is Alone and Lonesome.
Yep.
All right. Kind of, intriguing title there.
Yeah, already starting off with a heavy mood. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Description for this episode is: the land has fallen into ruin, and children represent the last hope for humanity. One of them, Hero, fails to live up to that purpose and decides to walk away from it all until he meets a girl with horns.
Okay.
All right.
Lots of things to look forward to, I guess.
All right. Yeah. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out. Alright, so just watched episode 1 of Darling in the Franxx. Yeah, so we were just discussing right now, actually, how we see a lot of parallels between Evangelion and this anime. But there's also a lot of differences as well. And Freedom, like you were saying, like, Evangelion is like one of your all-time favorites. How do you think it compares?
This compares to Evangelion. It doesn't compare.
It doesn't compare.
It doesn't compare at all. I mean, so okay, but like it shouldn't compare things to Evangelion because Evangelion is, to me, like one of my favorite anime ever. But it, like, superficially, there's a lot of parallels. They've clearly taken a lot of plot devices from Evangelion, like the idea of humanity is in dire straits. Like, there's some alien race. They have to pilot some sort of like giant mecha thing. Yeah. And they put their own unique twist on it too. Like, kind of interesting. They told a story about those birds, where a male and female, they have to rely on each other to fly, and similarly, you need at least 2 people to pilot a Franxx.
Right.
So yeah, they put some unique stuff, unique spin on the Eva story. But yeah, I mean, pretty interesting. The animation is really good. I like the scale, the scale of the show, because like one thing in Eva that I think a lot of people enjoy is how big the show seems, in terms of like the fights are on like a very epic, huge scale, right? And I think this anime did like a pretty good job at scale and stuff. With that fight, with the Klaxosaur.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought that was like pretty well animated and stuff. Yeah, so it looks like some of the action in this anime could really be pretty epic for sure.
Yeah.
Where I saw it, the biggest divergence with Evangelion was probably with the characters. Like the characters here seem like much more typical anime characters.
Definitely.
Whereas with Eva, like it's completely different, right? You have the main character is like in like a psychological breakdown and stuff. So
yeah.
Whereas this seems a little bit more normal. The characters, at least. Yeah.
Looks like it.
And there's a little bit more lightheartedness.
Yeah.
More lightheartedness in this that I can see for sure.
And the main character, that guy, number 16, he he definitely is a lot more normal than Shinji Ikari, like from.
Yeah, way more normal. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I mean it's different. We can't
it's
compare
different.
them.
It's
It's
different,
just on
yeah.
the surface it seems, yeah. This
On
has
the sur-
definitely been inspired by Evangelion. I think we can say
yes,
that.
I think we can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like the dichotomy between the two main characters. Like in the opening, where she looked at the birds, the flightless birds, as like an inspiration, and he looked at them as like pathetic creatures. So
Yeah.
different worldviews
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
that should make for an interesting combination.
Yeah. And yeah, speaking of worldviews and stuff, I mean just this world that they're in.
Yeah,
It's kind of interesting. I'm hopefully we get some more info about it, but it looks like, it's almost like completely like state controlled or something.
looks
Where you
like it.
have
Yeah,
kids are being selected and they have to pilot and stuff, and if they don't, like they just disappear from the orphanages. Like who knows what's
yeah,
going on here?
yeah.
Yeah,
And it looks like only kids can pilot them, right?
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. So it's some kind of dystopia of some weird kind.
yeah, yeah. And we don't know what has happened to Earth in general, because she says that she's never seen an ocean before. So
Right, right.
maybe I don't.
That's right.
Yeah,
So something's happened.
something's happened.
Yeah. Again, some parallels with Eva there too.
Yeah.
In Evangelion, you had the first impact, which
Right.
kind of trashed the planet.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully people who are listening to this have seen Evangelion.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch
You
it.
gotta watch it. It's a classic.
Yeah. But if you watch that, you'll see all the similarities here.
Yeah. I like the name Klaxosaurus, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the the main character, the horned girl,
Yeah.
could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they don't have names. They're just like
Number 2.
code.
Yeah.
Was there 02
Zero
or something?
2. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 02 could be interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if those numbers are randomly assigned.
Yeah. I wonder why Hiro has a name then.
Yeah.
I guess the other guys had names like Ichigo, Hiro,
That's true,
whatever.
yeah.
Maybe they have a code name
Yeah.
as well on top of it.
So maybe 02 also has her own name, but she chose not to reveal it so far.
Yeah, it's possible that they adopt that code name once they join the military or whatever.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, judging from the first episode, I like it actually. It's
Yeah, no, it looks good. The
looks
production
good.
quality is good.
yeah.
I thought the score was pretty decent. It does a good job of evoking that like kind of epicness during the battle.
Yep.
I think we could see a lot of cool action
I think so too.
in the series. Yeah, and I hope we get a little bit more depth in the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Same. Now we can move on to the next anime.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so second to last series for this podcast, we're looking at Violet Evergarden.
Yes. We've heard a lot of good stuff about this series too.
Yeah, this is probably the one I've wanted to watch the most. So
Other than Devilman Crybaby, right?
yeah, other than Devilman Crybaby. Yeah. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. There's a crazy amount of hype for this one. Let's see if it holds up to that hype. Okay, so I'm gonna read the synopsis from my anime list.
All right.
Okay. There are words Violet heard on the battlefield which she cannot forget. These words were given to her by someone she holds dear, more than anyone else. She does not yet know their meaning. A certain point in time, in the continent of Telesis, the great war which divided the continent into north and south has ended after 4 years, and the people are welcoming a new generation. Violet Evergarden, a young girl formerly known as The Weapon, has left the battlefield to start a new life at CH Postal Service. There, she is deeply moved by the work of auto-memory dolls, who carry people's thoughts and convert them into words. Violet begins her journey as an auto-memory doll, and comes face to face with various people's emotions and differing shapes of love, all the while searching for the meaning of those words.
Wow.
Yeah. See, this kind of material I think is going to be perfect for our show.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just the synopsis
Yeah.
is something to be taken apart by itself. So
Yeah, this is, and it looks like on my anime list, even though it's only one episode has come out, it already has an 8.72, which is like
that's
really,
amazing.
really good. So
Yeah,
yeah, let's see.
it
Let's see how
sounds
this
really
goes.
good. It sounds
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. All right, let's watch the first episode.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. All right, we just finished up episode 1 of Violet Evergarden.
Yes. Looks like a very interesting anime so far, actually.
Yeah,
I think
really
I think
liked it.
I think one of the best in this season. So right off the bat, like I like the setting. Sort of in like at the beginning of the industrial age,
Yeah,
and even like the wars that the war flashbacks were sort of like World War I
yeah,
uniformed soldiers like by
yeah.
get going over the trenches, that kind of stuff.
Right, right.
So that seems to be like the time period.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Some kind of um,
Timeline.
alternate timeline of like Europe or something.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But I mean, very interesting premise.
Very interesting
Um,
premise.
Violet. I guess she was some. I don't know exactly what her backstory is, but it looks like she was
Yeah,
kind of almost maybe built as a tool, or
yeah,
somehow had
yeah,
her feelings. I don't know, manipulate. I don't know if she's like an art, like an android kind of thing, or if she's a real human who's been
yeah. That's what I was
kind of
wondering.
brainwashed and brought up. But it looks like she had
Yeah,
real like limbs and stuff that she
yeah,
lost in the war. So
yeah. I'm thinking
yeah,
she was probably like a real human, but maybe
real human.
she was raised in a different way as a
Yeah, she's raised purely for like military use or something.
yeah. So maybe she has some special abilities that
Yeah,
made her useful as a
yeah, yeah.
military tool.
Right. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So it looks like she doesn't really, she
Yeah,
doesn't really understand human emotion. You know, we were talking
yeah.
about the Ancient Magus Bride and
Right.
stuff. You
Same
kind
thing.
of
Yeah.
see maybe a parallel between
Maybe a
her and
parallel.
Elias. Yeah. So very interesting.
Yeah. And she really wants to find out what those emotions mean. So
Right. Exactly. It looks like she had a very close connection with her.
yeah,
Um, yeah, with her major
yeah. Gilbert, right?
Gilbert. Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like he probably died in that war.
Yeah, yeah. Even though she probably doesn't realize that yet.
Yeah.
Like the colonel is not really being straightforward with her in that sense.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that he knows
He knows.
how
Yeah,
closely attached she is to him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is fascinating. I think um, there's a lot of good themes here. One is like a purpose to living.
Hmm.
Again, parallels with the Ancient Magus Bride with
Yes.
Chise. Chise trying to find a purpose to live. It looks like she was living just as a tool and in service of that major. Now
Yeah,
that now that one, the war is over, and two, the major, he doesn't seem to be around. Gilbert doesn't seem to be around. Um,
yeah.
she's probably kind of afloat in the middle of nowhere. She doesn't really have a purpose anymore.
Right, right. So it's that search for purpose that will drive her probably.
Yeah, so it's a good existentialist kind
Y-
of
Yeah,
crisis she's going through. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's pretty good. I also like the character of the colonel. What was his name? I
I don't
forget.
remember his name. Yeah,
Yeah, he seems like a chill guy.
yeah,
Um,
pretty cool. Opened up like a post office after.
yeah, yeah,
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah,
entrepreneurial, good stuff.
yeah. Even while the war was still going on, he was like, "I want to open a business after the war."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I also like the concept of the auto memoir dolls.
yeah,
It's an interesting name for them, actually.
yeah.
It's
It's a cool idea.
a cool idea.
Yeah, ghostwriters, huh?
Ghostwriters, yeah. I guess in a place where most people don't know how to write.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they have to. It's just like the synopsis of the show said, right? They have to put people's feelings into
Into
words.
words, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a perfect setup for Violet
yeah, yeah,
to start to understand some of these emotions that she's
yeah,
grappling with. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just overall the production is fantastic. This may be
Definitely.
the most um, beautiful looking anime of the season
I think so.
in
I think
terms
so.
of detail. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
did you see the character designs? Like, holy
yeah.
crap!
Very beautiful.
Like the hair, just the hair. Like, you just
Yeah,
notice how much detail is in Violet's hair.
yeah, yeah,
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Usually in anime, they would just do they would just show her like locks, like very blandly. But this one, you can see almost every strand of hair. It's
yeah,
very, very, very detailed.
yeah,
The
yeah,
lighting is great. The colors are good.
yeah.
Very realistic looking. Yeah.
They did a good job. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the whole town looks very good. I like the architecture,
Yeah.
drawing.
Right.
Yeah, so it holds a lot of promise. I think
Yeah, it does.
so far. I think for me at least, it might be my favorite of the season so far.
Okay,
But
cool.
it's hard to judge from just one episode. So
Yeah.
uh, I'll I'll say whether it's still my favorite at the end of the season.
Okay. Yeah. It looks really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
All right.
Okay, so let's move on to the final series for
Final
this
one.
podcast.
Devilman
And
Crybaby.
oh man, yeah, like you said, Violet Evergarden it's looking like it's going to become your favorite anime
Yeah.
of the season. For me, it's looking like Devilman Crybaby is going to be my favorite anime of the season. So let's
Right.
see. Let's see what happens.
Right. All right. Let's do it.
All right. So this week we're watching Devilman Crybaby episode 2. One hand is enough. And the description. Akira has become a completely different man. He's stronger and hungrier than ever before. He seeks out Rio for answers.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
I'm not surprised it's become a different man.
All right, this should be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch it.
Let's do it.
All right, just finished episode 2 of Devilman Crybaby.
Yes. Pretty much favorite anime of the season, I think.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the whole show is an adrenaline rush.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
That's what it is, and yeah, I mean it keeps up that pace. It's crazy. This
Yeah.
episode was great too.
Yeah. It keeps up the pace throughout the whole episode.
Yeah. So again, music is just this is probably my favorite soundtrack of the entire season. Just like I'm loving like the electro beats. Really,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Even the rap song that those that gang in the river
Yeah,
would do.
those
Even that was
rappers
good.
They're pretty good.
It was
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, they have good rhythms. Really good.
Yeah. And the artwork fits very well with the
Yeah.
whole plot.
Yeah. Really, really well done.
Yeah.
Just like again, like very over the top.
very over the
style.
top.
Yeah, it's like excessive.
Yeah.
In whatever it does, but like it fits so well.
Yeah, with the storyline, the characters too.
Yeah, it's like very over the top and has these like very over the top random
Yeah.
scenes, like with Akira coming back to school and
Yeah.
and going to like the audio like the AV
Yeah.
club and like
And
watching porn,
everyone could hear it.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like small little random things like that, but
Yeah.
it's what makes this show special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's and the transformation of Akira, dude, from the first episode, from
Yeah.
before he went to the nightclub to
Yeah.
afterwards, it's like
He's just like a super nice crybaby.
yeah, to a devil man,
Yeah.
and everyone is like, WTF happened, you know? Like
Yeah. It's like in one night, like he completely changed.
yeah, it's like his face changed.
Yeah. Everything changed.
He grew like 3 inches or something,
Yeah.
and yeah. And he ran like Olympic level sprinter.
Yeah, 10-second 100 meter.
10-second.
Yeah.
Like the world record is what, like 9.6 seconds.
Yeah, 9.7 something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end too, like the way he tore those devils apart, man. That was quite a powerful scene, actually.
Yeah.
But going before we get there, I thought it was interesting in the scene with his family when they were talking and stuff, and his little brother mentions about devils, how they can give you power.
Yeah.
His family did not deny that there were devils, so it seems like maybe it's common knowledge in this
No,
world.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
okay.
it's common knowledge. Yeah, I think they were just talking in general about how
I
like
see.
yeah, they seem like a Christian family. They
Yeah.
were praying at the meal and stuff, and so when they
Yeah.
say like devils tempt us, they mean like sin.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because I mean, this guy, remember, he took the video of that footage and he said this could change the world. So
Yeah,
it's not widespread knowledge at all.
Okay. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it seems like if you have these devil powers, all your carnal desires, I guess, get amplified, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, if we like again, I love Freud, but if we look at it like through like the Freudian structure of the mind again with ego, id, and superego, like it's you would look at like a devil as literally just all id.
all in.
There's no superego. There's no there's no like little angel on one shoulder. Your conscience, right, telling you what you should feel guilty about something or not feel guilty about something.
Yeah.
When you have a demon, it's all based on your drives, your
Yeah.
instinctual drives. They seem to be closer to beasts, like animals, in that way. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So I guess yeah, when Akira turned into a demon, he like killed his superego.
I guess so.
He killed his conscience. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's one
But the
way.
thing is, yeah.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah. At least when he turns into that demon thing, he doesn't really have a conscience.
Yeah.
But he still has to, it's interesting because Rio says, you have the body of a devil, but the heart of a human. And so when you mean the heart of a human, it kind of means he still maintains that conscience, right?
Right.
And that's what keeps him in check. Because
Right.
like even though he does all these crazy things, he still feels
Human.
he feels human and he feels guilty about it afterward. Remember, he's
Right.
talking to Rio and he says, "If I ever cave in
Yeah.
to being a
Yep.
devil, like kill me."
Yeah. I wonder actually if he feels like he could cave in, that if he would ever lose control without ever
Yeah,
coming back to.
yeah. I think he feels the urges really strongly. Like
Yeah.
in that scene with the rappers.
Yeah.
Usually he would never have said that. He's like, remember he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
and what if like I don't
Yeah.
tell you guys anything?" And if you notice after that, he was like pretty disturbed
Yeah, he was.
because he was like, I would never say something like that.
Yeah.
And so he was kind of freaked out that he said
Yeah.
he even did something like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So on the one hand, you see like his like the devil persona gave him like all this id, like this pure unadulterated id. But on the flip side, he also becomes very protective of his friends.
Yeah.
Remember when his friend, like when she was talking to one of the photographers, right?
Yeah.
He became very protective of her.
Yeah.
He was like, he did not like the idea of her being taken advantage by the photographer.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think in his case it's interesting because like Rio said, he has the heart of a human, right?
yeah.
So he still has those. He still has, he's still Akira, except the
Yeah.
demon side of him is kind of like unlocked a little bit of his aggression, maybe, and his inhibition.
Yeah.
So now he like has the balls to like get up and
Yeah.
and tell Mickey like you're being taken advantage of by this
Yeah.
photographer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's increased his aggression now has like the floodgates have been opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge contrast if you remember back to episode 1 when it first opened up, when he was like a little kid.
Yeah.
And like a puppy was dying or something.
Yeah.
And how, how like not violent at all he was.
Yeah.
And in fact, we were mentioning how Ryo was actually like the more violent one, the more,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But now it seems like it's flipped, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
even like when he goes on that rampage, it's like because he was angry that those demons had
Right.
killed that priest, right? So it's
Right.
kind of he's like, he's kind of like yeah.
Yeah.
He's going against like he's doing. I mean, he's tearing those people apart, but he's doing it. His motivations seem good, so
That's true. That's true.
he's just letting that aggression out.
Yeah.
This newfound aggression out, in the name of like stopping these demons and stuff.
Yeah. For justice and stuff.
Fight fire with fire, kind of.
Yeah.
Approach.
The demons though called him its own name. They called him Amon.
Amon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amon. Yeah.
Is Amon a reference to some biblical thing?
Maybe.
It sounds like a familiar name, but
Maybe, I don't know.
yeah.
It doesn't
Ring a bell.
ring a bell for me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of biblical references, though, I really liked the fact when he was so hungry, and right at the dinner scene with his family, they have like the picture of the Last Supper.
Yeah. That was like really out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
I was like, wait, what? Why is there a huge? It's not even a small one. It's a huge one.
It took up the whole wall.
Yeah. Huge portrait of the Last Supper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some more biblical references.
Probably. Yeah.
As the show goes on.
Yeah. There was the one devil. It seems also that not all devils are the same, right? It's like there's like the typical run-of-the-mill devils who will just eat the humans and stuff, who cannot really control their urges. And there was also that female devil who seemed kind of like a leader of the devils of sort.
Yeah, yeah, those two.
Two.
Yeah.
So she seemed like maybe a higher level devil.
Right.
Whatever that means, yeah.
Right.
Back in the day, you'd have probably binge watched this, right?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is my favorite series of the season. I can say that for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Okay, yeah, I mean I think that's it for this this episode of the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty productive episode. 5 different anime.
Yeah, 5 different anime. I hope this podcast doesn't end up running too long, but
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we were thinking of maybe we're seeing if we could maybe drop Grancrest War, depending on how it goes. If it turns out to be just pretty average, we could drop that and just focus on 4 probably.
Right.
Because I don't want it to be like an hour long podcast.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We'll see.
If you guys have any recommendations on which ones to drop, let us know as well.
Yeah.
Except for like we're not gonna drop Devilman Crybaby, obviously.
Yeah,
or Violet
the
Evergarden.
Ancient Magus Bride. Or Violet Evergarden.
So it's really between Grancrest and
Darling.
Darling, yeah, one of those two.
Yeah.
Or,
so let us know.
Let us know. Or if you don't want us to drop any of them, we can keep going.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Oh man, it's pretty funny. It's like we literally take 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours
Something
to do this podcast or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay.
I wonder, one thing we could do, and you guys can let us know too. Maybe it would be better to split them off into different episodes per anime, different videos.
Yeah, and maybe we can be a little bit more constrained.
Yeah.
Maybe we can like take one episode that was really, really outstanding and talk a lot about that, and then just do a couple minutes from the other ones. Yeah.
That's about it for today, I guess.
Yeah. Again, if you like the show, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, expand the description. We'll have timestamps that link to each series, so you can just follow along with the anime you're watching this season.
Yep.
All right, folks. Hope you enjoy the show.
Yep. Until next time.
Stay inspired.